You ask for change. You cry out for different circumstances. You beg for a new season, a new chapter, a fresh start. Yet, the change you want does not arrive immediately. Instead, something else unfolds quietly, persistently within you. This is no accident. This is no delay. This is the beginning of the transformation that must precede the external shift. You see, we often mistake change for the rearrangement of our world, a new job, a healed relationship, a financial breakthrough. But true change is not about what happens around you. It is about what happens inside you first. God is not a magician who waves a wand to fix your life overnight. He is the master craftsman, carefully shaping your heart, your mind, your character. Because without this inner work, any external change will be fragile and fleeting. Patience becomes the quiet virtue that holds your hand through this unseen work. God's timing is not your timing. He is not rushing to hand you answers, but diligently molding you into the person who can steward those answers wisely. Have you noticed how the things you prayed for often feel distant? It's because you are not yet ready for them. The desires of your heart require preparation, and that preparation looks like change within you. The restless soul that once demanded immediate results now learns to wait, to trust, and to grow. The heart that was hardened by disappointment softens under the gentle touch of grace. This internal change is the soil in which your prayers take root. It is the foundation upon which lasting transformation is built. When God changes you first, you do not simply receive change, you become change. You carry the power to transform your world because your soul has been transformed. So, do not despair when your prayers seem unanswered. Do not be discouraged by delay. You are being changed. You are being prepared. You are being made ready, and when the time comes, the change you long for will not only arrive, it will arrive through you, because you kept praying, but God kept working, changing you first. You ask for change. You beg for your life to be different. Yet often, the desire for change masks a deeper resistance within. It's easier to hope the world around you will shift than to face the shift you must undergo inside. The truth is, when you pray for change, what you are really praying for is a new outcome without facing the uncomfortable process that leads there. You want your circumstances to improve, but do you want to improve yourself? That is the question that rarely gets asked. You long for peace, but do you want to be peaceful in the storms? You cry out for healing, but are you ready to be healed, not just your wounds, but your mindset and heart? You seek a new day, but are you willing to walk through the night that precedes the dawn? Change is not a quick fix. It is not a magic that happens outside your being. Real change is the slow work of transformation, and transformation starts with resistance. Resistance to change is natural because change threatens what is familiar, even if that familiarity causes pain. We cling to what we know, even if it is a prison, because the unknown feels like a greater risk. So, when you feel stuck, when your prayers for change seem unanswered, understand that what you are experiencing is not denial, but preparation. Your resistance is the soil being broken up, ready to receive new seeds. It is not your enemy, but a sign that the real work has begun beneath the surface. This internal resistance shows you what parts of yourself have not yet surrendered to the possibility of growth. You might ask, why does God allow this resistance? Why not just give me the change I want? Because without breaking up the hardened parts inside, any new blessing will fall on barren ground. Without change within, change without will not last. It will be like building on sand, easily washed away by the next storm. The heart, the mind, the spirit, these are the places where change truly matters. The external world can only shift when the internal world shifts first. When you resist change, you resist the very preparation you need to handle what you desire. The dreams you have for your life require more than circumstance. They require transformation. Look closely at your life. Where do you feel the most resistance? What parts of you resist the very change you pray for? These areas are calling for your attention. They are the places God is working on first, because these are the foundations for the life you want to live. You might feel frustration, impatience, or even despair. But these feelings are not signs that God has abandoned you. They are signs that God is inviting you to deeper work that reshapes you from the inside out. This process may feel slow, even invisible, but it is real and powerful. The desire for change is the starting point, but the willingness to be changed is the path. You cannot skip the journey within and expect the journey without to unfold. The prayers for new beginnings come wrapped in the package of inner transformation. Every time you resist this inner work, you delay the very change you want. Every time you embrace it, you move closer to becoming the person who can walk into new seasons with strength, wisdom, and grace. Change begins where you least expect it, in your willingness to let go of control. It starts in your readiness to admit that you are not yet who you need to be to receive what you ask for. This humility opens the door to transformation. You keep praying for change, but the first change must be in you. The change you resist today is the change that will set you free tomorrow. So, lean into the resistance, welcome the discomfort, because this is where God is doing His quiet, powerful work. The world you desire is waiting, but the first step toward it is not a shift in your circumstances, it is a shift in your heart. You have learned that the desire for change often hides a deeper resistance within. Now understand this. True change does not begin with the rearrangement of your surroundings. It begins with the quiet revolution happening inside you. The change you pray for is not a shift in events. It is a shift in the way you see and respond to those events. External change is the effect, not the cause. It is the result of what has been transformed inside your mind and heart. You may dream of a new job, a healed relationship, or a fresh start, but none of these can last without an internal foundation. The way you think, the way you feel, the way you believe, these must change first. This is why so many prayers for change seem to circle back to the same place. The world around you looks the same because your inner world has not yet moved forward. The same thoughts, the same fears, the same doubts still run in the background of your mind. Until these change, your life will reflect them. Change that starts externally but skips the internal work is like painting over rust. It may look better for a moment, but underneath, the corrosion continues. The same old patterns, the same old habits, the same old doubts remain, waiting to surface again. The true work of change is in the transformation of your character. It is in the reshaping of your perspective. It is in the renewal of your spirit. When these parts of you change, your circumstances begin to shift naturally, not by accident, but because you now carry a new energy, a new clarity, and a new strength. It is important to realize that this internal change is not always visible. No one else may notice the small shifts in your patience, your humility, or your courage, but these shifts are the true markers of progress. They prepare you for the changes you seek. You cannot force this inner transformation. It is not about trying harder or wishing more. It is about allowing the process to happen, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully. You learn to surrender old beliefs that no longer serve you. You begin to think differently about failure, about success, about your worth. The change inside is subtle but powerful. It is the moment you stop blaming your circumstances for your unhappiness. It is when you take responsibility for your own growth. It is the day you decide to meet challenges with resilience instead of fear. When your inner world changes, your outer world follows. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach come within grasp. But this is no coincidence. It is the natural effect of the new person you have become. Remember this: God does not change your situation first because He is changing you first. He knows that only the person transformed from within can handle the blessings, the challenges, and the responsibilities that come with new seasons. So, while you keep praying for change, be attentive to what is changing inside you. Are you growing in patience? Are you learning forgiveness? Are you becoming more courageous? These internal changes are the true signs that your prayers are being answered in ways you cannot yet see. If you find yourself stuck, it might be because your inner world is not ready for the next step. This is not failure, it is preparation. The silent, unseen work within you is the most important change you will ever experience. Hold fast to this truth. Lasting change begins in the unseen places of your heart and mind. It is not about rearranging your circumstances first. It is about rearranging your soul. The external change will come, but only after the internal transformation has taken root. When you become the person God is shaping you to be, you become the agent of change, not only in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. So, instead of focusing solely on what you want to change outside, look inward. Invite the quiet transformation that makes you stronger, wiser, and more prepared, because true change is not about where you are, but who you are becoming. You have come to understand that true change begins within, in the quiet reshaping of your heart and mind. Now recognize this: transformation is not a race. It is a process governed by divine timing, not your urgency. Patience is not just a virtue, it is the necessary companion on the journey of change. When you pray for change, you often want it now. You want the breakthrough, the healing, the shift immediately. But God's timing is not measured by your calendar or your impatience. It is measured by the perfect moment when your inner work is complete enough to carry the external change. This waiting is not wasted time. It is the workshop where your character is formed, where your faith is strengthened, where your resilience is built. God is not rushing through this because He knows that without this preparation, change can lead to collapse. Consider this: the strongest trees take the longest to grow. They endure storms, droughts, and harsh winters before standing tall. Your character must endure seasons of challenge, uncertainty, and waiting before you stand ready for what you ask for. Patience in transformation means trusting the process when you cannot see the end. It means believing that every trial, every delay, every moment of doubt is part of the refining fire. The furnace is hot, but it is making you pure. The delay is long, but it is making you ready. You might feel frustrated, wondering why God isn't answering your prayers on your schedule. But impatience only clouds your vision. It makes you miss the subtle growth happening inside. When you rush, you risk breaking what is still fragile. When you wait, you allow strength to build. God's timing is also about perfect alignment. The right change must come when your life is aligned with His greater plan for you. This alignment takes time, it takes surrender, it takes the willingness to trust even when the path is unclear. You are being shaped not just for your own benefit, but for the purpose you are destined to fulfill. When the change finally comes, you won't just receive it, you will be equipped to carry it forward with wisdom and grace. This process requires more than passive waiting. It demands active patience. You engage in growth even while you wait. You practice gratitude. You cultivate faith. You strengthen your spirit. Patience is not idleness. It is endurance, discipline, and hope combined. Look at the moments when you wanted to give up. Those are the moments God was testing your patience, measuring your readiness. Each time you chose to stay faithful, you advanced in your transformation. Understand also that patience is not the absence of action. It is the presence of trust. You do your part, you prepare, you learn, you heal, and you trust that the timing will come when everything is in place. Many miss this because they equate waiting with inactivity. But waiting in God's way is active waiting. It is an investment in your soul's maturity. It is the calm before the storm of blessings you desire. So, while you continue to pray for change, remember that God is at work, changing you first in His perfect timing. Your patience today is the proof of your readiness for tomorrow. When you learn to embrace the process, to walk faithfully through the waiting, you transform not only your own life, but the world around you. Because patience builds character, and character builds legacy, hold fast to this truth. Change that comes too soon can crumble, but change that comes in God's time endures forever. Your prayers are not ignored. They are being answered in the workshop of your soul. Trust this process, embrace patience, because God is not just answering your prayers, He is preparing you to receive them. You've learned that patience is not mere waiting, but active trust in God's perfect timing, shaping your readiness for the change you desire. Now, consider this. The very process of being changed is preparation for the change you seek. God is not just changing you for the sake of change itself. Every trial, every lesson, every moment of growth is crafting you into the person who can handle the blessings and challenges ahead. When you pray for a breakthrough, it's easy to imagine it as a sudden event, an instant transformation of your situation. But true breakthroughs are rarely sudden. They are the culmination of inner work that often goes unseen and unrecognized. This unseen work is what prepares you to steward the breakthrough wisely and sustainably. You must understand that receiving change without preparation can be dangerous. It's like handing a sword to someone who has never learned how to wield it. Without the skill, the sword can harm more than it helps. Similarly, without the inner transformation, the external change can bring confusion, overwhelm, or even destruction. This preparation through change is not comfortable. It is often a path marked by struggle and sacrifice. You face doubts, fears, and setbacks, yet these are the very elements that strengthen your resolve and deepen your faith. The difficulty you encounter is not punishment, but a form of divine training, a refining fire that purifies and empowers. Every challenge you face is shaping your character, teaching you humility, patience, and endurance. These qualities are essential because the changes you pray for will demand them. When you receive new opportunities, healed relationships, or restored health, they come with responsibilities. You will need wisdom to navigate them and strength to maintain them. Remember that God's work within you is not random. It is intentional and precise. The specific trials and lessons you face are designed to equip you uniquely for your future role. Your past experiences, your present struggles, all are tools in the hands of a master craftsman shaping a masterpiece. Often, people resist the preparation because it doesn't look like progress. They see delays and disappointments and think God has forgotten them. But the truth is the opposite. God is working quietly, changing you first so that when the change you pray for comes, you will not only receive it but also sustain it. This idea is reflected in nature as well. Before a seed grows into a tree, it must first be buried in darkness and break open. The breaking is painful and unseen, but it is essential. So it is with you. The breaking down of old habits, old fears, old ways of thinking is the preparation needed for new growth. The process also teaches you to appreciate change. When change comes suddenly and without preparation, it can be overwhelming or taken for granted. But when you have been shaped through struggle and patience, you welcome change with gratitude and responsibility. There is a powerful lesson here. The value of change increases with the value of the person receiving it. God's changing you first is not just preparation, it is elevation. He is lifting you to a place where you can walk confidently into the new season of your life. The shift inside you also transforms how you pray. You no longer ask for change out of desperation or impatience. Instead, you pray with faith, understanding, and readiness, your prayers become declarations of trust, not demands for instant results. This transformation in prayer is part of the change within you. It reflects a deeper relationship with God, where you align your will with His and embrace the process of becoming. When God changes you first, you become a channel of His blessings rather than just a recipient. Your life becomes a testimony of growth and grace. Others see not just what God has done for you, but how He has done it through you. You begin to carry the change you sought. You embody the answers to your prayers. This makes your blessings sustainable and impactful, not only for you, but for those around you. So, as you continue to pray for change, pay attention to the preparation within you. Notice how God is shaping your character, building your faith, and teaching you endurance. These are the tools you need to handle the change you desire. The change you long for will come, but first, God is changing you. This is the foundation for every breakthrough, every blessing, every new beginning. You are not just waiting for change. You are being made ready to carry it. You've come to understand that the process of being changed prepares you for the very change you pray for. This preparation is not random or superficial. It is the deep, unseen work that shapes your character and equips you for what lies ahead. But embracing this unseen work is often the hardest part, because it demands trust in what you cannot see and faith in what feels slow. Most people want change to be visible, immediate, and dramatic. They want to see clear signs, a new job, a healed relationship, or financial breakthrough. But the work God is doing within you is often hidden, subtle, and gradual. It is like the roots of a tree growing deep beneath the soil, unseen but vital for the tree's strength and survival. You may feel restless during this season, wondering if anything is happening at all. You might ask, is God really working? Am I just stuck? The answer is yes, God is working, but His ways are often silent and mysterious. The change inside you may feel slow, but it is steady and sure. This unseen work involves breaking old habits, renewing your mind, and healing old wounds. It means letting go of beliefs that no longer serve you and adopting new perspectives that align with your growth. This inner renovation does not happen overnight. It takes time and persistence. You might experience times when you want to give up because you do not see immediate results, but these are the very moments when God is inviting you to lean deeper into trust. Faith is not about seeing. It is about believing in what is happening beneath the surface. Embracing the unseen work also means accepting discomfort. Growth is not always comfortable. It often feels like a process of breaking down before building up. You might feel vulnerable, uncertain, or even fearful, but these feelings are signs that you are moving forward, not backward. Remember that the unseen work is the foundation for lasting change. When God changes your heart, your thoughts, and your attitudes, you become a new person who acts differently. Your decisions, your responses, and your behaviors begin to reflect the transformation taking place inside. This internal shift changes how you relate to the world around you. You begin to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. You respond to setbacks with resilience rather than despair. Your relationships improve because you bring a new level of empathy and understanding. The unseen work is also about building spiritual strength. It is about developing a deeper connection with God and learning to rely on His wisdom and timing. This connection becomes the source of your peace and confidence, even when external circumstances remain difficult. As you embrace this unseen work, you start to understand that change is not just about achieving goals. It is about becoming the person you were meant to be. The process reshapes your identity and aligns you more closely with your purpose. You may not see the full picture now, but trust that the unseen work is leading you there. Just as a sculptor chips away at a block of stone to reveal the statue within, God is shaping you through this quiet process. This transformation prepares you not only for the change you seek, but also for the challenges that will come with it. When your prayers are answered, you will be ready to steward the blessings wisely and effectively. By embracing the unseen work, you step into a deeper faith and a stronger hope. You learn to celebrate progress that others may not notice and to trust in a process that feels invisible. You become patient with yourself and with God's timing. You find peace in the present moment, even as you long for the future. This balance of hope and trust is the hallmark of those who experience true, lasting change. So, as you continue to pray for change, remember that God is working in the unseen places of your life. He is changing you first, even when you cannot yet see it. This unseen work is the hidden strength behind every breakthrough. It is the quiet power that turns prayers into realities. Trust it, embrace it, and watch how your life begins to reflect the transformation happening within. You have learned that embracing the unseen work within prepares you for the change you desire. Now understand this. When God changes you first, you become the very change you seek in the world. This is a profound truth. Transformation within you does not stop at your own life. It spills outward, influencing everything and everyone around you. The change you long for isn't just about shifting circumstances or receiving blessings. It's about becoming a living example of that change. When God changes your heart, you carry a new light. That light touches the people you meet, the decisions you make, the actions you take. You become the answer to your own prayers and an agent of change for others. This is why God's first step is to change you, because you are meant to be the vessel through which the change flows. No external transformation can be lasting without this internal transformation first. Without it, change is fragile, temporary, and often undone by the first challenge. Think about those you admire who have experienced great change. Their lives don't just show a different story, they show a different person. Their character, their mindset, their values have shifted so deeply that change radiates naturally from them. That is the power of being changed first. When God changes you, He equips you with wisdom, not just knowledge, but the practical understanding of how to live in the new season. This wisdom helps you navigate the complexities of change with grace and confidence, rather than fear or confusion. You also gain strength, the kind of strength that sustains you through challenges and setbacks. This strength is not physical alone. It is spiritual and emotional resilience that anchors you firmly when storms come. Moreover, God changes your perspective. You begin to see your circumstances, your challenges, and your opportunities differently. This shift in perception allows you to respond with faith and hope instead of despair and doubt. Your new outlook changes how you approach life's obstacles and victories alike. This internal transformation also fosters empathy and compassion. When God works within you, you become more aware of the struggles of others. You begin to carry a heart that is tender, understanding, and ready to support. Your own experience of change becomes a bridge that connects you to others who are still on their journey. Because of this, the change you embody becomes a catalyst for community transformation. People around you begin to notice. Your life becomes a testimony not only of personal growth, but of the power of God's work in the world. You become a living proof that change is possible. Your story inspires hope, encouraging others to believe in their own potential for transformation. Your life becomes a beacon that draws others toward the change they seek. This ripple effect means that the prayers you once spoke over your own life now extend far beyond you. Your changed life becomes part of a greater movement of hope and renewal. But remember, this does not mean the journey is over once you've been changed. Transformation is ongoing. The change God begins in you continues to grow, deepen, and expand as you walk through life. This ongoing change invites humility, reminding you that no matter how much you've grown, there is always more to learn, more to become, more to give. It invites gratitude as you recognize the grace that sustains you each step of the way. Most importantly, this change empowers you to be the difference you want to see. It moves you from wishing and praying to acting and leading. When God changes you first, He calls you to be a light in the darkness, a voice for the voiceless, and a source of hope for the hopeless. Your prayers for change have been answered not simply by altering your situation, but by transforming you into the very change needed in the world. So stand firm in the knowledge that God's first work is within you, and from that work flows the power to change everything around you. You are not just a recipient of change, you are its bearer and its source. Your life, shaped and renewed, is the living answer to the prayers you have faithfully prayed. You keep praying for change, but God is changing you first, because you are the change.